You've noticed something is different. Not dramatic, not a crisis moment, just different. Your bird is quieter than usual. Or maybe they're closer than usual. Maybe they've been watching you more, following your movements through the room with their eyes, letting you hold them longer than they normally would. And somewhere in the back of your mind, a thought has been forming that you don't want to finish. Most owners in this moment tell themselves one of two things. Either they believe nothing is really wrong, because the bird still seems calm, still looks okay, still responds when spoken to, or they believe their bird is suffering and unreachable, too far gone to still be present in the relationship. Both of those things are wrong, and the science that explains why is something every bird owner deserves to know, not after, but before. Because your bird never stopped communicating. They were saying goodbye the only way they knew how. 1, the quiet is not withdrawal, it's presence. When a bird falls seriously ill or reaches the end of its life, most owners interpret reduced vocalization as a sign that their bird has gone somewhere unreachable, that the personality has disappeared, that the bird they knew is already gone before the bird itself is. But here's what the science actually shows. A study published in Animal Cognition found that parrots modulate their vocalizations in direct response to social bonding context. They call more when they feel disconnected and become quieter when they feel genuinely close. The reduction in noise is not absence. In birds under high physical stress, quiet is often the deepest form of presence they can offer. And whereas parrots in the wild go silent when the flock is still, it's a signal of safety, of trust. When your bird goes quiet near you in their final days, they are not retreating. They are choosing to spend their remaining energy in your presence instead of across it. But here's the part most owners miss. There's one behavior inside this quietness that almost every owner misreads as a good sign, as a sign of improvement. We'll come back to that at the end, because when you understand it, you'll understand what your bird was actually trying to say. 2, the closeness is not confusion. One of the most common things bird owners report in the days before losing a bird is that their animal became unusually affectionate, seeking contact, pressing against them, allowing handling they would normally move away from. The easy interpretation is that the bird is disoriented, not itself, acting strangely because something is wrong neurologically. But that's not the real reason. Dr. Susan Friedman at Utah State University has spent decades documenting the behavioral choices of parrots under duress. Her work and the broader applied behavior analysis literature she helped establish for avian species consistently shows that birds, even those in significant physical distress, retain full social agency. They are choosing who they spend their time with. A bird pressing against you in its final days is not confused. It is being precise. And honestly, I find this the hardest part to sit with, because it means the closeness was not random. It was intentional. It was directed at you. Your bird never stopped communicating. They were saying goodbye the only way they knew how. If that's already landing, if you're already thinking about your bird while watching this, hit the like button and subscribe. Every video on this channel is built to help you understand what your bird is actually going through. And the more bird owners we reach, the better. Now, let's keep going. 3, they were reading you more carefully than you were reading them. Here's something that might surprise you. Avian behavioral research from the Max Planck Institute for Ornithology has documented that parrots track the gaze direction, emotional state, and behavioral patterns of their bonded humans with a level of precision that rivals primates. They know your routines better than you know theirs. They can distinguish your stressed walk from your normal walk, your worried voice from your calm one. In the final days of a bird's life, this tracking intensifies. Think about what that actually means. Your bird in physical distress was still monitoring you, still reading your face, still adjusting their behavior based on what they perceived in yours. They were not passive recipients of your care. They were active participants in the relationship, right up until they couldn't be anymore. That is not a small thing. That is a social intelligence operating at full capacity under impossible conditions. 4, the eating was a message, not a sign of stability. When a seriously ill bird eats in front of you, especially if they eat more readily from your hand than from the dish on their own, most owners read this as reassurance, as evidence that things might not be as bad as feared. And this is where it gets uncomfortable. Parrots are prey animals. They are hardwired to mask illness. Research at UC Davis on avian health monitoring found that by the time most birds show obvious behavioral signs of illness, they have been compensating and concealing for days, sometimes weeks. The biology of prey animals demands it. In the wild, a visibly sick bird is a targeted bird, so they perform wellness when they can. But here's what nobody tells you. There is an exception to this masking behavior, and it involves you specifically. With their primary bond person, the human their nervous system identifies as flock, birds sometimes drop the mask. Not all the way, but enough. They allow themselves to be seen as they actually are. Eating from your hand in those final days may not have been a sign of stability. It may have been the only moment in their day when they felt safe enough to stop pretending. They were not performing wellness for you. They were resting in your company long enough to stop performing it. 5, the sounds they made were not random. In the days before losing a bird, many owners report hearing vocalizations they'd never heard before, different from the normal contact calls, different from the alarm sounds, quieter, more directed, sometimes repetitive in ways that felt almost deliberate. Avian bioacoustic research by Dr. Carl Berg has documented the extraordinary specificity of parrot vocalizations, that birds develop what he terms contact calls unique to individual relationships, sounds that function as personal names, as relational markers, as signals meant for one specific member of the flock and no one else. Next, those sounds you heard in the final days, they had a recipient. They were aimed at you. 6, and this is the part we've been building toward, the behavior most owners remember as a good sign. I said earlier that there's one thing birds do in their final days that almost every owner misreads as improvement, as a turning point. And it's the most important thing in this entire video to understand. It's called a terminal rally. And it happens in many animals, including birds. In the final hours or days of a bird's life, it is not uncommon for them to have a period of apparent energy, increased alertness, vocalization, engagement, sometimes playfulness. The bird that had been quiet suddenly seems present again, and owners, understandably desperately, were just read it as a turn for the better. It is not. Avian veterinary literature, including work published in the Journal of Avian Medicine and Surgery, documents this pattern as a temporary mobilization of remaining resources, not a recovery. The bird system briefly compensates before it can no longer. And in many cases, this rally is followed quickly by decline. The tragedy isn't that owners misread it. Of course they did. They wanted to believe. The tragedy is that those moments, that brightness, that engagement were real. Your bird was genuinely there with you, present, not deceiving you, actually offering you something in those final hours. That rally, that was your bird, gathering everything they had left and spending it with you. Your bird never stopped communicating. They were saying goodbye the only way they knew how. If you've lost a bird and recognized your experience somewhere in this video, or if you're in the middle of this right now, tell me in the comments. Tell me about your bird. I read every one. And if you want to understand your bird even more deeply, the next video covers the specific body language signals your bird uses to show you they feel safe. Because the more you learn to read them, the more of those moments you'll be able to recognize while they're still happening. They were with you all the way to the end.